Hey everyone, welcome to Car Review. Today we're going to do a spoiler-filled review of Wonder Woman, so let's get into it. So before I went to go see Wonder Woman 1984, I did a rewatch of the first Wonder Woman movie from 2017, and man, did I forget how good that movie was. I will fully admit that back when Wonder Woman was cast for Batman vs. Superman, I did not think Gal Gadot was the right choice. I thought that there should have been someone with more of a resume and more of a overall acting experience for someone to carry such an important and pivotal character. And though I liked what I saw of Gal Gadot earlier in her career, like with the Fast and Furious franchise, I didn't think that she had the chops to carry such an important role. And I remember seeing Batman vs. Superman in theaters, and I was blown away by Wonder Woman and her performance as Wonder Woman. And I think for most people, Gal Gadot and Wonder Woman are the standouts of that movie. I think that that pairing totally stole the show. And then to have her own solo movie just a year later capitalize on that momentum, it's perfect. And man, did Patty Jenkins and the entire crew do such a great job of capitalizing on that momentum, because this movie is so good for so many different reasons on so many different levels. And the first thing that really stood out to me on this rewatch was how beautiful the film looks. I mean, from a visually stunning perspective, it is just incredible. I mean, the director of photography, I forget his name, but he does such a great job of not only having these wide angled landscape shots, but the colors are so vibrant and they pop, and you can clearly identify everything and everyone in the scene, and it's so gorgeous. There are so many scenes from this movie that look like a artist portrait. I mean, they look like they should be just captured and framed on your wall. It's amazing. And I also think that the action is superb. I think that Patty Jenkins not only did a great job of capturing how brutal World War I can be, but also how powerful Wonder Woman can be, and having such a powerful character, not just in strength, but also in resolve and in grace and in wisdom, contrasted by the brutality and the horrors and the overall brutishness of World War I is great. It's literally putting a light in a dark environment, and I really appreciated that. The no man's land scene is something that people will always think of when you say Wonder Woman. I think that scene is going to be a standout for years and years to come, even beyond Gal Gadot's time as Wonder Woman, and though I wish she plays this character for years and years. But even beyond the no man's land scene, everything about that action sequence is so great, and there are other little pit pockets of action that really cement not only Patty Jenkins as a great film director for this character, but also, again, cementing Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman. And I apologize if I switch between Gadot and Gadot. I've heard both pronunciations. But ultimately, I think that not only does her directing style, Patty Jenkins, capture an essence that is unique to Wonder Woman, but I also think it invokes moments of the classic Superman movies. And I think that there is that sense of optimism and hope used throughout her style that really will make Wonder Woman and this movie itself last. Another thing that I really enjoyed, that I forgot how much I enjoyed, was the chemistry between Gal Gadot and Chris Pine. I think that they, as a duo, as a pairing, as this boyfriend and girlfriend, soldier backing up soldier mentality, I think it works really great. I think that Gal Gadot, her character, her portrayal of Wonder Woman is very much based around innocence, whereas Chris Pine, his portrayal of Steve Trevor, is very much based around realism and this sense of stakes and just honesty. Whereas Wonder Woman is also honest, Steve Trevor is also honest in the sense that he's going to tell people around him like it is. And I really appreciate that, because with Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman, you capture the perfect sense of innocence that Wonder Woman is meant to bring to the table. Not only is she strong and brave and beautiful, but she's also very honest, and she's very caring and truthful. And you see that the way she interacts with the people around her and the way she interacts with the world she's in, she is always asking questions. She wants to help everyone, even if it's not really like time appropriate to her situation, and she wants to just know more. One of my favorite scenes from the movie actually has, it's really small and people might not even remember what I'm talking about, but right as Steve Trevor brings Wonder Woman into London, they're walking the streets and she's asking questions about the wardrobe, about the people, why are the people holding hands and stuff. There's a scene where Steve Trevor is breaking down the socialness of London, and Wonder Woman sees a baby and she immediately runs over to the baby saying, "Oh my gosh, look, a baby." And it's this childlike, innocent, just mature woman, almost like a mother type figure that comes out of Wonder Woman. And I really appreciate that. I think that's a really cute moment. But also the overall pairing of Chris Pine and Gal Gadot is so great because they contrast each other. And excuse me. And I think that whereas Gal Gadot brings this type of honesty and just like full on, like, I want to help people, Steve Trevor too wants to help people, but he also brings it in a much more subtle and subdued way. And he honestly brings a lot of humor into the movie, which is great. I think there's a lot of great moments that's not in your face comedy, but are much more reserved and stuff that the audience is meant to pick up on. Not so much is it just blown at us on a large scale. You look at even the simple moments where Gal Gadot or Wonder Woman and Steve Trevor meet and back on Themyscira, and Wonder Woman's like, would you say you're a accurate likeness of your sex or something like that? And Steve Trevor stands up and he's fully nude too, by the way, and he goes, "I'm what you might consider above average," meaning he knows he looks good, he knows he's a pilot, he knows he's in the army, and he uses that to his advantage, even though he's completely surrounded by these mysterious women on a mysterious island in the middle of nowhere. And I really like that, and I'm so glad that chemistry got its time to shine. And I'm really glad that they have that great dynamic from literally their first interaction to the end. I'm glad that there wasn't this sense of awkwardness. There was this sense of them trying to figure each other out, but they're not sacrificing any part of the character to figure each other out. They're very upfront with who they are from the beginning, and I think that that's great because that leads them on a nice path that they can build from the point that they leave Themyscira to the final battle. And ultimately, I think that solidifies Steve Trevor as a great character for his death. I think that, you might compare this movie to Captain America: The First Avenger. It's very much similar in the sacrificing and the war setting, and even how they sacrifice by crashing or blowing up a plane. But I think that where in Captain America: The First Avenger, where you may view Steve Rogers and Peggy Carter's connection as more of just a connection to have a connection, I much more am devoted to Steve Trevor and Wonder Woman having a connection. I very much feel that sense of loss and that sense of love that they have for each other. And so to have that pulled away at the end of the movie, when they are so close and they're so intertwined and connected to each other, it is heartbreaking. But it is heartbreaking for the right reasons, because Steve Trevor, again, he saves today. Wonder Woman saves the world. And yeah, I think this movie is just fantastic. I guess my only itsy bitsy little gripe with it is that the third act, I think, is possibly the weakest of its acts. However, if the rest of the movie is a 10, the third act is a 9.5. Now, years later, Patty Jenkins has said that she did not want this giant CGI fisticuff fest for the third act. I think she wanted something much more subdued and more practical. Don't quote me on that, though. But she has said that this giant climactic battle featuring lots of effects and all that. That was much more pushed by the studio than her. Again, she is happy with the final product, as am I. I think that its third act works great. I think that that final battle between Wonder Woman and Ares is awesome, and I love the visual verticality and visceralness of that fight. But it does feel a little bit out of place, whereas before you got a much more grounded and centered focus on the action, when Wonder Woman is literally running through trenches and villages, versus now she's destroying tanks and buildings on an airstrip. Again, if the rest of the movie is a 10 and the third act is a little less, it'd be a 9.5, because they all work together really great. But again, I have to just mention that on this rewatch, I noticed how there is just a little bit of that shifting plate mentality, where it's not a perfect fit, but it's damn near close. And yeah, Wonder Woman, the original film, is amazing, and there are moments in this movie where you are going to feel empowered, you are going to feel the greatness of the character, and you are going to have tears come to your eyes. There are many moments, like the No Man's Land scene, where I rewatched it and I thought back to sitting next to my mom in the theater back in 2017 and just thinking, like, wow, like, look at this is amazing. And it brought tears to my eyes then, and it brought tears to my eyes now, and that is a testament to how good the movie is. So yes, this is my review of 2017's Wonder Woman. So thanks so much for watching. If you like this video, comment, share, like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. All right, peace.